All right, let's start with what we know based on the clues the family has. It seems that Firefly isn't a local or an invited guest. In other words, she's a stowaway. She managed to fool me at first. My age must be getting the best of me. But here on the planet of festivities, stowaways are a common sight. You're bound to run into one sooner or later. After the incident, the hounds wasted no time searching for that girl in both the dreamscape and reality. But here's the thing. We only received bad news, and the trickiest kind at that. She simply vanished, leaving no trace in the dreamscape or reality, as if she had never come to Penacony at all.
Huh? Does that mean...
That's impossible. The problem now is not that she's dead, but that it's as if she had never existed in the first place. Let me be frank. This case, actually, is unlike anything the Bloodhound family has dealt with before.
Dealt with before? So, death does happen in Penacony, if I understand correctly.
You've witnessed it, so there's no need to hide. Even the shiniest city has its dark side. We're all adults here. Surely I don't need to explain too much to you. Confronting the family based on that alone would be naive. Death may occur in sweet dreams. So what? Such events are highly unlikely and only affect a tiny number of people. If you really want to delve deeper into this case, you need to understand the true problem with the family.
I guess it's time to tell the story of that Mikhail.
You're very perceptive. The Astral Express has received that music box too, right? Do you know the secrets it holds?
There's a message. Witness the impossible in the realm of dreams. Find the legacy of the Watchmaker, father of Penacony, and thus the answer to the question, why does life slumber?
That's the exact wording.
Hey, why are you laughing? Wait, did you write it? It's quite poetic.
No, but I'm the officer in charge of this case, so how could I not know? I'm sure you must have noticed that this message didn't come from the family. You might have even guessed that the relationship between the family and the Watchmaker isn't as close as it seems.
That's just our speculation. Actually, it's hard to believe that the father of Penacony and its actual managers are at odds.
Now I can assure you that your speculation is absolutely correct. The family has considered the Watchmaker an enemy for a long time, but the hounds haven't been able to track him down, as he seems to be living only in the characters and stories he created. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever wondered why the family allowed the Watchmaker to send out such a ridiculous message to the outside world, inviting you here and causing chaos?
So, you want to seize this opportunity to expose the Watchmaker?
Well, now you understand why the Oak family authorized the Nameless to assist in the investigation, but kept you in the dark, right? Because the Watchmaker is not the legend of the land of the dreams at all. He's the most shameful stain in the history of Penacony, and he's the root cause of all the anomalies in the dreamscape. You don't get it? Well, I mean, Mikhail, the betrayer of the family, he's the Watchmaker. Here we are, Clock Studios theme park, the most popular entertainment center in Penacony.
Wait, aren't we supposed to be discussing the Watchmaker? I would have expected you to take us to, maybe, a library, or an archive room of sorts. But an amusement park?
The culture of a city reflects its history in the most authentic way. To you, it's a fun place. But to me, it's a prison for the planet's past. You know that Penacony used to be the IPC's prison planet, right? All the prisoners were brought here, helping the Garden of Recollection salvage the leaking memoria from the macrovoid. The prolonged exposure to high concentrations of memoria caused a unique phenomenon. The dreams of countless prisoners intersected and overlapped, and people started meeting each other in their dreams, living lives that were almost identical to reality. But everything has a price, and sweet dreams are no exception. In the end, the dream world was unable to alleviate the suffering of prisoners in reality. One of the prisoners broke free from the IPC shackles and fought for freedom. He is Hanu, the great leader of Dreamville, the great peacemaker, and the faithful companion of the underdogs. History is always written by the winners. However, it's undeniable that Clocky is an animation that draws from Penacony's actual history. These characters not only exist in Dreamville, but also in the distant past. Once you realize this, you'll understand why we're here.
There are so many members of the Bloodhound family around here.
They just received a lockdown order, supposedly from Sunday himself. Who knows what it's for?
What's going on?
So many of them. I've never seen anything like this, even when they're tracking down suspects. We don't need to go in. We don't want to draw any unwanted attention inside. We can just talk here. Let's find a quiet spot and continue our conversation. View here is great, right? We can see everything from here, including Clocky.
If all the characters in the animation are based on characters in reality, then Clocky's counterpart is definitely the Watchmaker. In the animation, he's Hanu's partner and one of the founders of Dreamville. Does that mean the Watchmaker was personally involved in that war and sided with Asdana?
It was a monumental war for freedom. Hanunu fought alongside a motley crew of masked fools, nameless, history fictionologists, mourning actors, omen vanguards, even visitors from beyond the sky. In the end, they emerged victorious. Among them was the person who would eventually be known as the Watchmaker.
But if you do the math, doesn't that mean the Watchmaker was around for several centuries?
I'm not sure, but Mikhail was already the Watchmaker when I met him, so maybe he inherited the title.
How old are you now, Mr. Officer?
I'm 13.
No way. Not even close.
Hanunu freed the frontier prison, but peace still eluded him. With limited resources, threats from the outside world, and internal conflicts between major prison districts, the future of Asdana was uncertain. It wasn't until the Watchmaker approached the family with the idea of turning the prison into the planet of festivities that Penacony finally gained its name and glory.
Thus, he became known as the father of Penacony.
But didn't you say the Watchmaker betrayed the family? And you said you were his companion, so that means you...
No, I'm not his companion, but rather one of his many children. But I am indeed a traitor. Not to the family, but to Mikhail.
What did you do?
I did nothing. And that's the worst betrayal of all. Just like you, I had close companions. We dedicated ourselves to Penacony. But the Oak family, they set us up. Mikhail was too old to protect his children anymore. So we left the family to find our own path. We were branded traitors of the Harmony, even though the true traitors were someone else. While they continue to praise the Watchmaker's name in the world, behind closed doors, they condemn him on a pillar of shame. Nevertheless, we wanted to clear his name. We intended to find the real traitor, the one responsible for all this, and restore harmony to Penacony. But we failed. Too much time had passed, and the land of the dreams had become deeply corrupted. After countless fruitless pursuits, I gave up. Like a lost dog. The family accepted me and made me an officer, supposedly as a form of forgiveness. But it was actually a punishment. Since then, I've been completely cut off from my partners and my past. As for Mikhail, I heard he died in obscurity, in a place where no one could find him. That's when I realized that the Penacony I once knew would never return.
We're truly sorry for what happened. But this is not the end of the story, right?
Apparently, someone has inherited the title of the Watchmaker and has been secretly working against the family all this time. Unfortunately, after all these years, I have no idea who that person is, or if they're even real. Or just Mikhail's lost soul haunting the dreams. So, do you understand why I'm spilling all this info? Because I believe the girl's death must be connected to the Watchmaker's legacy. And at the end of all these mysteries, we will find the answers we are seeking. If it really is Mikhail's ghost, I want to meet him. If only for the last time. For those who despise me could form a line from here all the way to the entrance of the hotel. But those willing to look me in the eye and hear me out? Let's just say, there won't be many. I've told you all I know is a sign of gratitude. Thank you for listening to this old dog. Bark and all. Something just happened at the theme park. Now if you'll excuse me, good luck to all of you. How ironic. What's so different between the stowaways projected by Penacony today and the dream seekers once hailed as pioneers several amber eras ago?
Gallagher does have a troubled past, it seems.
While Firefly's whereabouts remain a mystery, his stories shed light on our suspicions about the true identity of the Watchmaker, his connection to the family, and the power struggles hidden behind sweet dreams and death. Now that we've confirmed a lot of our suspicions, let's take a moment to think about the clues we have. Send a message to Welt and see how things are going on his end.